Friends, I haven't finished the film.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm 5 minutes from the end.
Shall we take a 5-minute break then?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Is that I don't want to. I was so awkward. I didn't know I was 50 minutes late already, and then.
Well, you can go. You can watch the film, and
Okay.
maybe the police will ring back at the same time.
That's
Shall
true.
we all go and get a drink and meet back in 10 minutes?
Oh, would that be all right? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Did you manage to watch the film?
I did.
Great. And you've had sufficient time to absorb it and all of that?
And process
I've
it.
had at least about 15 seconds.
Okay, that'll
Fair
do.
enough.
Yeah. I've got some thoughts. Don't you worry about that.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Claire, you chose this week's film.
I did,
It was Gaslight.
indeed.
Why did you pick that?
Hopefully we've all watched the same version with Ingrid Bergman.
I certainly have.
Who?
Oh no.
Oh, good one.
Thanks.
Yeah, it is a film that I've been aware of for a while. I think in the past couple of years, gaslight, the verb, has made it into the dictionary. And I wanted to see the film where that came from. It's a word that you hear around, and yeah.
Wait, does
Yeah,
that
so it
say
was
that
that
before
connection.
the film Gaslight was not associated with what we now think is gaslighting?
So yeah, what we call gaslighting is called that because of the film.
What? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you must have thought it was really lame that it was about an actual gaslight, like a sort of weird pun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be learning this today. Thank you for this introduction.
There you go. Every day's a skill day. So yeah, I'd be interested to know what people thought about it. I don't know.
Yeah. What
Hmm.
did you think, Laura?
I really liked it. I thought it was a very well-made film. I didn't enjoy the experience of watching it. I definitely wasn't meant to. Obviously, I was meant to be very tense and stressed, but I was too tense and stressed, and I thought it's a bit much for me. Although I enjoyed the end.
I'm glad you got to see the end.
It's not often that Laura and I would summarise a film in almost the exact same way,
Oh,
but
wow.
I think this is one of them.
Oh, you should have said, and this is another one of those times.
Maybe it'll happen one day. It was. I thought it was superbly done, really, really well written and acted, and well done in every way. And I haven't felt this bad watching a film since Requiem for a Dream. I was sitting there. I had this pit of dread in my stomach, and my skin crawled every time Gregory was on screen, and I felt the injustice of it just made me so angry, and just the way she was spiraling was so terrible. It was a really uncomfortable watch for me, but so it made the ending all the more satisfying.
Excellent.
What about you guys?
Fernando?
I have a similar opinion. As in, I loved it. As in the end, I loved it. But at the beginning, it was definitely very difficult to watch. But then once things were starting to fall in their correct place, I started enjoying it much more. And then by the time the film ended, I decided that it was a great film and that I would recommend it.
Excellent. Oh, that's nice.
I think we might all be in agreement.
Wow.
Oh my God. That's never
Great
happened.
film club,
Great
guys.
film. Play the music.
Well done, everyone. For once, you all have the right opinion.
Yeah. Happens now and then, doesn't it?
You're all correct. Yeah, I agree. it was very anxiety-inducing.
Did you enjoy watching it though? Like, were you like, I want to stop watching this now? I don't think I was quite at the point of like, I'd really like to stop watching this, but I was at a point where I'm just like, I'm not enjoying this.
I desperately wanted it to resolve.
Yeah.
For about an hour, I was like, oh, can this just be over now?
Yeah, it was so long. I mean, it wasn't actually that long, I guess, but it felt long.
Yeah, it was very uncomfortable. And I think, well, I guessed it was going to resolve itself, and I was like, oh, come on, can we just get to that bit now? I get the point. It's horrible.
I think I was suffering in the same way, but yeah, I thought they played it just right. I think they could have stretched it out a bit more, or they could have cut it down, and I think it was, yeah, they had time to breathe and time to really let you settle into that story. But each scene, there was a new little twist on it, a new little sickening thing that was happening. And yeah, I kind of think it needed every minute.
If I could only get inside that brain of yours and understand what makes you do these crazy, twisted things.
Gregory, are you trying to tell me I'm insane?
It's what I'm trying not to tell myself.
But that's what you think, isn't it? That's what you've been hinting and suggesting for months now, ever since...
Since what?
Since the day I lost your brooch.
Yeah, I think it was necessary for her just very slow disintegration.
Yeah.
You know, like really did take its time to, like, you could see how their relationship was changing and exactly how manipulative he was being and what effect it was having. Just so naturally. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Good film.
And you can see how that can happen as well because they took their time over it. There was no one thing that was, all right, okay, now she thinks she's like a kleptomaniac. It was like, yes, stacking evidence. It needed all of those scenes to make it seem convincing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. What point did we start to suspect he was a wrong'un?
I was just going to ask that. So I actually wrote down the exact point.
Oh, me too.
Excellent. When they first arrived at the house, he knew where the drawing room was.
And the drawing room is upstairs.
Yes.
Oh, very good. Oh, that's a good spot.
Fuck.
Well done. Do you mean when he walked in and said, "We should have had some womb"?
He walked in and he said, he was like walking around and was like, oh, in the dining room and the whatever's back there.
Oh,
and the drawing room's upstairs. As if that was just like an absolute given.
I see.
And there was no reason he'd know that unless he'd been there.
Yeah, okay.
Well
it took
done.
me a long while to work out that he was the murderer. But I mean, I guess I knew a little bit about what this film was and about how it was the origin of the word gaslight and everything like that. So I kind of, from the very first moment I saw him, thought, oh, this is going to be the baddie. Yeah.
I liked him at first.
He seemed very nice, didn't he? They did a good job of that.
They were so in love.
Yeah. So, yeah, for me, I kind of got it a bit wrong. I got that he was the murderer quite early, but for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
So, when he looked at the portrait of the aunt, and, like, it was clear that he, like, I don't know, that they had some kind of response to it. That was the point where I was like, oh, I see. He gave her the glove. He's obsessed with her. Now he's married her because she looks like the aunt. And the whole situation is going to play out again. So actually, it was quite disappointing when it was like, oh, he's just a jewel thief. he's just like a magpie who just can't resist some jewels. Not like the fanatic fan that it ties in with the glove and the letter and the. Oh well.
Oh yeah, he should have been the murderer. It's a real long-term plan, isn't it, to get some jewels, actually to find someone in Italy and marry them.
That's a long game, yeah.
Yeah. yeah, I guess he just, as you say, Magpie, just really wanted those jewels.
Yeah, and I mean, the gaslighting was just so extra. He's just being so unnecessary.
Yeah, what should
that?
he have done?
Like, surely you'd want to get your wife out of the house so you can have
Oh,
more time
I
to look for the
see.
jewels.
Yeah, just send her on holiday or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Obviously
a thought.
trying to get her sent off to the madhouse. He's playing a really long game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if he gets her sent off to the madhouse, then he would sort of inherit everything she owned.
Oh,
and
yeah, I
therefore
suppose,
maybe he would avoid having
legally
to
own the
steal
jewels.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Something like
okay.
that, but I don't know.
That makes sense. That's good.
That's not what they said in the film, but that's what I was thinking. Was there a sadistic cruelty that he was a really nasty man, and we saw that he had this sort of temper and this rage, and he was angry with her for like looking at another man while they were at the Tower of London. Could it be just because he was so spiteful and cruel that he enjoyed driving her mad?
Bauer. Sergius Bauer, yes. I remember.
Yes, you're right. That's when it began.
Yes.
I can see you still, standing there and saying, look at this letter, and staring at nothing.
What?
You had nothing in your hand.
What?
I was staggered. But I didn't know then how much reason I had to be.
I don't know. What reason?
I didn't know then about your mother.
What about my mother?
Your mother was mad.
Oh, Gregory.
Or was it all based in the logic of the jewels?
Yeah, it's not just the jewels in what I'm suggesting there.
Yeah.
Just a thought. What did you think
he
of
was a psychopath?
There we are. Yeah, who just had no...
Yeah.
Well, he certainly seemed to be angry at times. And, yeah. What did you think of Gregory, Fernando?
I was suspicious of him right from when he suggested that they lived in London, because by then we already knew that she had some... she had some troubling memories of London. She would rather go somewhere else. And when he asked, where would you like to live? She was like, well, let's go to Paris. And he was like, oh, yeah, Paris. Well, let's go to London then. It's like, well, that is suspicious.
Yeah, he obviously had his own... In fact, that's the first thing we see, isn't it? This early manipulation of her, asking her what she thinks and then trying to make it sound like going to London was her idea all along. Oh,
yes.
Oh, he's such a bad one.
Real bad egg, that guy.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Me too.
Yeah. I mean, in the first the first Oscars, we had Best Villain as one of the things.
Oh,
and I feel like he's
candidate.
a contender for that sort of category.
Yeah, that is true, yes. He might be.
He was
him and the dad
truly
from
appalling.
Boyhood. Not the dad, the stepdad.
The stepdad, yeah.
The dad was good.
not the dad. Yeah, it was that similar sort of creeping abuse. Oh, yeah, I didn't like him either.
Yeah.
I think the Gregory, the actor that played him, had an amazing way of, like, his eyes seemed to flash when he was angry. It felt like watching Dracula. There was just this, like, expression that came over his face, and it was just, it was so chilling. He reminded me a lot of, what's his name? Bela
The guy who played Dracula.
Yeah,
I
Dracula
really
in
looked
the
like
Universal
him,
film.
Yeah.
I thought it was Michael Caine when he first popped up on the screen.
He did look a little bit like Michael Caine.
Just like occasional glances.
Yeah.
Not really when you saw him full on or anything, but...
I thought he looked a bit like Michael Caine and a bit like what's his name from Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Tim Curry. Yes. Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, two actors that would both have ruined that part.
I think Tim Curry could have done it. He's a very versatile actor.
Yeah.
a bit
I
more
don't think I've
camp.
seen him in anything serious.
Oh, what have I seen him in? Oh, he's... No, me neither. But I think he could do it.
He might have hammed it up a bit.
Yeah, it would be much camper, but I mean, that's what this film needed, a bit of flair.
Yeah, carry on Gaslight, that kind of thing.
Well, Angela Lansbury would have.
Oh yeah,
right
she would have
into
nailed that. Oh, wasn't Angela Lansbury good?
Oh, isn't she just the best in everything?
Is his heart going to be added to the list of those you've broken?
Didn't know I'd broken any.
Oh, no, I'm sure that's not true. I was wondering whether you might not care to pass some of your secrets on to your mistress and help her get rid of her pallor.
Sure, I'll be very pleased to do anything I can, sir. Will that be all you're wanting?
Yes, except tea when it's ready.
Very good, sir.
That was her first film.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
She was 18 in that film.
Wow.
Yeah,
She
I
was
was looking
standout.
that up.
So little.
Amazing, and yet she had such confidence, and she played the character so well. Yeah, just superb. What a treasure of the cinema, and still with us, and still acting at least a year or two ago.
Oh. Good old Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, that's two films with her that we've seen now, isn't it? After The Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
should
yes.
see what else we can see with old Angela.
Bagsy Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
That
not
sounds
bed knobs
good.
and broomsticks. We just jumped
I
to
don't think
that.
Claire's a big fan of bed knobs and broomsticks. I think I've made her
What?
watch it too many times with me.
Yep.
That's Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, the gritty prequel to
Oh,
The
yeah, yeah.
Manchurian Candidate. Yeah.
Fucking gaslighting. Yeah, I watched Death on the Nile recently, and she was in it with Maggie Smith. It was so good.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that sounds amazing.
it's great. Really liked it.
What?
Who else?
Cool.
Betty Davis was in it as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was
All
Betty Davis,
star?
Angela. Yeah,
Oh, noted. So I was reading about her performance in this, and as you say, she was 18. She was 18 though when the film was released, and she was 17 for a part of the filming.
Oh,
Wow.
right.
And there was one scene in the film where she was smoking, and her youth worker wouldn't let them do the scene with her smoking until her 18th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And so apparently she came in to film on her 18th birthday, and they all shouted surprise and brought out a cake, and they all celebrated. And then they immediately did the scene with the cigarette.
That's very sweet.
It's good fun,
In a
isn't it? Are you a fan of Angela Lansbury, Fernando, or does she not make a big impression on you?
Wait, who is again Angela? Who is Angela
Lansbury.
Lansbury.
In this, she was Nancy, the despondent housemaid.
Oh,
who
she's
was
my second
having
favorite
flings.
character. She is my second favorite character. I
Who's your
love
first
her.
favorite?
I wish I could speak like her, and I wish I was her.
She's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very cute.
And that was the bit I wasn't expecting.
My favorite character is Miss Twaits, though.
Yes, she was my favourite too.
What's that bloodthirsty?
Miss Thwaites.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, good gracious. Oh, it's so exciting.
Your book?
Yes, it's all about a girl who marries a man, and what do you think? He's got 6 wives buried in the cellar.
That seems a lot.
Yes, and I'm only at page 200, so I'm sure there's still more to come. Oh, it's a wonderful book.
Oh, it sounds a little gruesome.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I enjoy a good murder now and then. My brother always calls me Bloodthirsty Bessie. Have a biscuit, dear.
Thank you.
Digestive biscuits. Unpleasant name, isn't it? I always call them Diggy biscuits. I never travel without them.
Diggy biscuits.
That was good, wasn't it? A much-needed bit of comic relief, but also maybe a bit much.
Oh no, it needed so much more comic relief. She needed to
indeed.
feature much
We
more
needed
heavily.
more mistweets.
Yeah,
It
should have been about her.
Yeah, agreed.
She'd make a good sort of Miss Marple character, wouldn't she?
Yes, yeah.
Like an enthusiastic detective who's only doing it because she's morbidly fascinated by death.
That's basically the definition of Miss Marple, isn't it?
Is it?
She insinuates herself.
She was played by Angela. I've never seen it. Miss Marple was played by Angela Lansbury, right?
Oh, no, you're thinking of Jessica Fletcher in the immortal Murder, She Wrote.
Ah, okay.
Shut up.
What a great character. Oh, what a great actress. Just perfect all round.
Good stuff.
And yet, yes, it was funny seeing her in this being so young and, as you guys are saying, so sort of beautiful and attractive. And I'm just so used to seeing her in these later films where she was playing a much older woman and did such a great job of that as well. It's surprising sometimes when you see an actor who just does brilliant stuff throughout their career, throughout a long career like that.
It's unsettling almost. I don't really like it. It was like when I watched The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie with Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, when you're used to these actors as old ladies, and then suddenly they're sexy young whippersnappers. What are you doing? Get your cardigan on.
You've got to chill.
Yeah. Gosh, she got massive eyes, though.
Now that I didn't notice.
Oh, right. Yeah, she's got big old flashy eyes. What did we think of her relationship with Gregory and Paula?
Oh, it was a tricky one, wasn't it?
Did that resolve itself? It didn't really. She didn't feature much at the end, did she?
No, I think because she was a minor character, I guess.
Yeah.
But so it was clear that he was using her as a sort of tool, and he was deliberately sowing this discontent between her and Paula. And that was another sort of creepy little thing, like when Paula said about when the picture had gone missing, telling Paula that if she hadn't hidden it, then she must be saying one of the servants did, and calling Nancy in and saying, "Did you take this, Nancy?" And she says no, and saying, "Right, there you are. You see, she didn't take it. Not like you said she would." Just these little things to make Nancy dislike Paula. I felt bad for Nancy as a result because it wasn't her fault that she was being used in that way.
Yeah, everyone was using her, weren't they? The police were using her to get info.
Yeah.
He was using her.
Poor Nancy.
Paula disliked her. Paula hated her.
Like that her only real character trait was that she just loved men.
Yeah.
The character loves men.
And she had her share of men, didn't she?
She certainly did.
Perhaps she got what she wanted. She got to go to the music hall. She didn't have to be polite to people. It was all good.
I like to think she and the police officer got together.
Yeah.
Williams.
They seem to like each other enough, I suppose. That was a fun scene. I thought, you know what, Brian, you've got to watch how you talk to people. You could be really misleading here. He's like, when he's talking to the mustachioed man, it was really quite suggestive.
Really?
How would you like to move to a new fashionable area? Week.
Oh, yes.
You're a handsome young man.
Not married, are you?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Which is why this whole film was a subtext for suppressed homosexual relationships.
theories.
Oh, the villain was gay. Oh, can't believe I didn't think of that.
There we are. The
There you
whole
go.
thing was just about him being gay.
And a
No, that's not
communist.
quite working, is it? And a communist.
Yeah, he was
yes.
definitely a communist.
One of those films.
They love them jewels.
Yeah, one of those wealth-seeking communists.
So I'm going to put this out there, because I was thinking about this a few times during the film. Is there an alternative reading of the film where Gregory is a good guy and Paula is actually losing her mind and stealing things and moving stuff around?
Ooh.
But we only see it from her perspective, so we don't. So we think that she's being gaslit. Could you read it like that? Is that consistent?
I mean,
No.
I suppose if you cut the end.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, what's the end in that case? Is the end just her? I think we'd have to say that she imagined Brian altogether,
yeah.
and therefore probably that she hit Gregory on the head and tied him up and taunted him.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't quite work, does it?
No, that kind of works. That the end is her literally going mad and she's about to kill her husband. She does kill him in the end, but she imagines him being taken away.
Yeah, something like that. Which would make her final speech all the more chilling. Oh, how good was the final speech? Right, back into the actual film. Not the film I made up. How good was that speech?
Be quick, Paula. Get me the knife. Cut me free.
Are you suggesting that this is a knife I hold in my hand? Have you gone mad, my husband? Or is it I who am mad? Yes, of course, that's it. I am mad. I'm always losing things and hiding things, and I can never find them. I don't know where I put them. That was a knife, wasn't it? And I have lost it. I must look for it, mustn't I? If I don't find it, you'll put me in the madhouse.
Help me.
If I were not mad, I could have helped you. Whatever you had done, I could have pitied and protected you. But because I am mad, I hate you. Because I am mad, I have betrayed you. And because I am mad, I'm rejoicing in my heart without a shred of pity, without a shred of regret. Watching you go with glory in my heart. Mr. Cameron, come! Come, Mr. Cameron, take this man away! Take this man away!
That was great. I really
He's
thought she was
good.
going to kill him. And that would be the
Right.
end. It wouldn't be a happy ending. It would just be he's mad. He's literally sewn the seeds of insanity, and she's just gone mad and killed him. Snapped. And then she does get
Wow.
carted off to the madhouse.
Oh, that would have been a dark end.
Would. Too dark. You would have had to bring Betty back on for a final number. 10 minutes.
Do a little dance. And
Yeah. Just scatter the bird seed, sing something to the pigeons for a good while.
come in and go, "Coo, a double murder."
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. We see this with older films like that, don't we? That they do tend to have a fairly conventional ending where the good guy wins and all comes okay in the end. I can't think of any films that are this old where it's like a devastating, horrible ending that makes you depressed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Me neither. I guess I just
Even
haven't seen that
real
many, though.
suspense films like Alfred Hitchcock films and stuff.
People
that are
usually get married, don't they?
Yes.
That's because of all the gay subtext. They have to reinforce the heteronormativity.
Yeah. Yeah, and the conclusion is that the gay people were banished and capitalism conquered communism,
Yep, that's the right.
as always. I'm not
But really-
seeing it in this film.
Wasn't the world a lot safer and nicer in those days, though? Women knew they had to stay at home and keep the house for the gentleman. It was just, it was just a nicer time.
It's funny now watching it in the current context. How did audiences see that in 1944? Where women are, there hasn't been the same Not that everything's rosy today, but like, there's different expectations placed on women in society. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess obviously the husband is still a terrifying villain, but whether it really carries the same impact, I suppose it must have done. I don't know. I should read about
I think it would
but
have been more scary.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Was going to say, sorry.
Because women were kind of under the thumb of their husband. They were at his mercy and could probably do that to them if he really wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a time when every other film is telling you that you should find a husband and be devoted to him. What a shock this film must have been. And this shocked, well, I think all of us watching this, however many years later, when we've seen, God knows how many terrible villains in films, and when we're not overly in love with the idea of the patriarch of the family. It must have been a real rug from under your feet as he turns bad in the 40s. Probably a very progressive film for the time, probably, right?
Maybe, I'm not sure. This is why I find the ending a bit annoying, because I'm like, you just got out of a super abusive relationship. Maybe you should take 5 minutes, girl. Stand you got this house. You're a wealthy woman. You don't need a man.
Oh, whereas what does she do instead?
Oh, I suppose they don't really do anything. It just sort of suggests that they're going to carry on, form some kind of romantic relationship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's definitely the implication.
Okay. Oh, I didn't get that.
Oh, I think he basically...
Or I've just forgotten.
It talks about how attractive she is quite a lot, and then sort of implies that he's going to start coming round quite a lot.
Oh, well, there we are. Yeah, you might give her a little while, wouldn't you? Jesus.
So Brian's an interesting character. How?
Is he?
Well, he's got a really interesting name to start with.
Brian.
Yeah, so he recognises Paula. But somehow also thinks something's up. Like just out of nowhere, apparently, is very suspicious of the situation. And as far as I can tell, there's no reason for him to be suspicious.
I think, did he not No, wait. How did he recognise...
So he thought it was her aunt.
How did he recognise the man?
He later on recognised the name on the letter, I think, but I don't think he recognised him.
But do you remember Gregory was like, oh, it's you? Oh, wait, was he just recognising him from the Tower of London?
Oh, maybe.
I'm sorry, I got confused.
Oh, yeah, did Gregory recognise Brian at the time?
Had you forgotten his name? Because it's so boring.
I had, because it's so boring. It's in front of me on the screen and I forgot it. Oh, man, I'm forgetting how it all worked now.
So Gregory saw Brian sort of staring at Paula at the Tower of London. And accused her of, like, nodding inappropriately or whatever it was. And then when they were at the concert, he was like, oh, that guy's following you. Is that why you wanted to go? Because you're in love with him.
I see. Okay, so they didn't know each other from the previous crime. Okay, I just got mixed up.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I just thought it was, I don't know. I don't know what he was picking up on. I thought they could have made it maybe more obvious, unless he just saw that there was something abusive.
Well, we know Brian was, like, obsessed with her aunt. He was, like, her biggest fan and had her glove and everything, so he would have taken an interest even if he wasn't worried, perhaps.
And I guess once he cottoned on to the fact that the jewels were still missing, He was like, maybe this. Well, it's a bit of a leap, but maybe this man has plotted for several years to marry this woman so that he can move into the house and convince her that she's going mad and send her to the madhouse so he can look for the jewels.
Yeah.
I think that's a very logical conclusion.
I can see how he got there.
Yeah.
I guess he saw Paula's, issues with, like, not going out in public and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, he does go around and see her, like, not leave, like, sort of kind of leave the house and then go back in and stuff.
And that's a nice chat with Miss Thwaites.
Oh, give her the Oscar.
She was just great.
Gem.
We looked it up, didn't we? Was she 80 in that?
80?
Yes.
Wow. That's quite an age.
Quite something. Yeah. Especially at the time. Yeah, she was born in 1865.
No one was born in that.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah.
That's like
so old. I can't even get my head around it.
just ridiculously I mean, that's more than 150 years ago.
Wow. We really are close to Jesus.
Yeah.
Who was monarch when she was born?
Well, it has
Queen
to be
Victoria,
Elizabeth, right?
Actually, she
Victoria.
hasn't been the queen forever.
Victoria was queen all through the...
She's
Eternal.
been the only monarch of the United Kingdom.
Only one that matters.
Yeah, that's right.
She'd have made a good Queen Victoria. The actress.
Yeah, well, I don't know what else she was in. Maybe she was.
Well, you're not amused. She didn't talk like that. I don't know why I did it like that.
It's quite good.
That was more...
Yeah, but just make up an accent for...
It was more Nancy than Miss Thwaites.
I thought you were trying to do Queen Victoria.
I was doing Miss Thwaites as Queen Victoria.
I see.
I can see why you would get confused, though. Cause...
Yeah. That's something. Yeah, that's fine. Was she your favourite character, Fernando? I can't remember. Did you confirm that? I know your second favourite character
Miss Thwaites.
was... Yeah.
Yes, my second favorite character is definitely Nancy.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes, straight after Miss Thwaites. Yeah, those were definitely the most fun characters.
They made the film watchable, to be honest. I was relieved whenever Nancy was in a scene and whenever Bloodthirsty Betty was in a scene. God, she was bloodthirsty.
So, hero of the film, someone we've not mentioned before, was Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah.
The maid.
Oh, yeah.
She said, when Brian says to her, whatever happens tonight, do what you think is best for your mistress. And then she denies having seen the man when it's clearly upsetting the mistress.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's what's best for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
she was
was it
good.
what's best for her? I didn't understand that. I thought she went too far with it. But she righted herself in the end. Why did
I
she
think
keep denying him?
they were still in danger because he was there and he had a weapon. So if she'd alerted him to Brian's presence or his interference, they might both have been in danger.
Ah, okay. I see.
And do we think that at that point Gregory was thinking, oh, sweet, she really has gone mad?
Yeah, what was his logic there?
Yeah, maybe he just thought he'd won.
Yeah, he must have thought she'd gone genuinely mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was starting to lose it a bit, wasn't she? As you would if you just couldn't trust your senses. Yeah, quite something.
Oh, it's just so awful. I keep thinking about it. It's just the worst.
Just terrible.
I don't know if any of you have read it, but I got the same feeling watching this film that I got reading The Girl on the Train.
Yeah, I watched the film. It was very much the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've not read.
he's convincing her that things that happened that didn't really happen, right?
Yeah, and that they all happened when she was drunk. That's how he gets around the...
That was it.
And she's using alcohol to deal with the abuse, and then... But he's using that against her.
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar. Oh, just being so angry at the injustice of it.
Yeah.
Probably won't watch it again.
No.
Although I guess now that I know what happens, I can wait patiently for it all to write itself.
Yes.
I mean, I thought it was going to anyway, but you just never know. People in the 40s were mad. Could have gone any way.
Oh man, yeah, it could have been a... Nah, I think... Yeah, it could it have just had a really depressing ending where he gets everything he wants?
It almost did, if he'd escaped with the jewels and...
Yeah.
It could have been like Charade, where there was just 5 different endings and you never know who's the villain, who's not the villain. And fucking...
Yeah, so we learn his new name, don't we?
But
we don't... Yeah. But we don't reveal more and more names all the way through.
I wonder how many other films there's been so much gaslighting. There was almost more gaslighting in Charade. No, not really. But there was a lot of gas. Well, was it gaslighting?
Was there gaslighting in Charade?
He was trying to convince her something. Yeah, there was lying. I suppose lying's not gaslighting, but he was being very manipulative. There was a lot of misdirection, a lot of I'm getting you to do this under the false pretenses of... But yeah, I suppose he didn't really make her think that she'd lost her mind. Fair.
Yeah, so to
That's
gaslight
part,
is to make someone question their own sanity, right? Oof. Awful.
Yes. I suppose the British Empire gaslighted the Indian cricket team, didn't they?
Indeed.
Did that happen?
Well, they made them think they were bad at cricket, so it's basically the same thing.
I think the British Empire were very gaslighty in general.
Yes.
Again, did they make people think they'd gone mad?
Well, they made people believe things that weren't true.
Yeah. So they lied a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's a difference between lying and that kind of psychological infiltration where you genuinely change someone's perspective of themselves. Whether it's to do with like, madness or not.
Yeah, they convinced them that... Oh, go for it, Fernando.
Would you say that Christianity has been gaslighting humanity?
Oh, that's a good question. God, we really get into it, don't we? Really answer these big questions. Well, no, because Jesus is real, so.
Oh, that is true. Yes.
Yeah,
it's a good point, though, because it's convincing you that your understanding of the world and the world as you see it isn't enough and isn't correct, that somehow there's more to it that you can't see and can't feel, but it's definitely there. They're trying to convince you it's definitely there.
Oh, there's something in that, isn't there?
And it's kind of like instilling of guilt over certain things that you start to... I don't know if you're filled with doubt about your own judgment, but it's you know...
Well, you start...
certainly... Oh, yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, you I forget the exact word, but you contract out that decision on what's right and wrong to someone else, don't you? You think your judgment isn't good enough, that you need to be told what's right and wrong by a higher power.
Yeah. Whereas actually you can use your eyes and ears and your senses are perfectly valid, and sort of invisible things that you have no evidence for probably don't exist. But they tell you, no, that's not good enough. There is all of this other stuff, and you're just too weak and close-minded to perceive it. But don't worry, we've done all of the We've worked it all out for you. Sign here.
Eat this body. Drink this blood.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Right, so Gregory is the Catholic Church.
He's the Pope.
Gregory's the Pope Gregory. Paula is the people of medieval Europe. Brian is the Enlightenment. Who's Bessie?
That's us standing at the side, morbidly watching and making fun.
Yes, us people who decided to make a podcast to discuss this batshit stuff.
She'd definitely have a podcast. I would listen to a podcast on this
true crime podcast.
Oh, it would be a true crime podcast. True crime
it's
and a
really
biscuit
bad
review.
one.
And it would just be, I went to the house and I couldn't get in.
Yeah.
But I can see the window from my
Looked in the
drawing
window
room.
again today. No change. I've looked up the
I think
Wikipedia
there is something
definition.
in this.
Do you think there is? Well, we can trust the
just in
Wikipedia.
what you're all saying. Right, yeah, go.
Specific type of manipulation where the manipulator is successful in having the target question their own reality, memory, or perceptions. So that really is Christianity,
Right.
because you are questioning your own reality.
Yeah.
Although I guess,
Absolutely.
they would say that is their reality. What is reality? Wow.
That's too deep for me.
You're right. I think we should reverse quick. Back to the
Yeah.
film. What else haven't we discussed?
So
Does
who
anyone
was
take any
the...
notes? Oh, yeah, go on.
I was going to ask who was the hottest member of the cast to get away from lofty subjects.
Well, that's not a long conversation, is it?
Oh, who
Because
do you
it's
think?
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I disagree.
Miss Thwaites?
No, what was his name? He's the one who ties Gregory to the chair.
Brian.
Joseph
We forgot his bloody
Brian
name again.
Cameron, yes.
It's just such a boring name. Yeah, he was cute in his own way, but
Yeah.
Angela Lansbury's so attractive.
Yeah. And to go up against Ingrid Bergman, I mean, obviously Ingrid Bergman's like got classically beautiful features, but there's something just so darn endearing about Angela Lansbury.
Mm.
She's just cute as a button.
There's something attractive about just not giving a toss about anyone.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
But she totally did, though, didn't she? She was a massive flirt and knew she was attractive.
Yeah, but she didn't give a shit. She was just
Yeah,
she just in it for the music halls.
Yeah.
She just
had a
wanted
good
to
time.
dance.
Yeah.
Wanted a bit of what she wanted.
Bit of how's your father? I can read out what my favourite line of the whole film was.
Oh, yeah.
I've got that in my notes.
Oh, yeah.
She's ill. Very tiresome of her.
Oh, yes.
That is not very sympathetic.
Yeah, she was good. Just wanted to host a party without anyone not turning up.
Lady Dalroy.
Yeah, she was good. And again, but that was a good point somehow, wasn't it? That just these things can happen, and there are a lot of people who are just not going to notice and who are just going to dismiss things and imagine it's nothing, who just don't care.
Well,
I think
maybe
especially.
that's...
Oh, go on.
No, on you go.
I was going to talk about like the idea of hysteria in that kind. It was still sort of pervasive in the 40s, and like why you just prescribe women morphine for everything. You should probably be getting a load of that. Probably didn't help.
Oh well, hysteria is a disease of the womb.
Oh yes, of course.
So doctors used to manually help women with hysteria.
Oh god.
Oh, there was a whole film about that recently, wasn't there?
Was there?
Yeah, wasn't there? Weren't there some like hack inventors who basically made a vibrator and sold it as a cure for hysteria?
Well, that's
And
definitely what the narrative was, and that was how to make women better.
yeah, I think it was based on a true story. And these guys that it became clear that some people were like claiming they had hysteria when they didn't. They just wanted a sex toy. And what I don't know. We should watch that film. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that is what we do, I suppose.
Watch films. We sure do. And we watched the hell out of this one.
Certainly did. Sorry, what were you going to say, Claire, before I interrupted you? Oh, sorry. Interrupting everyone as usual.
I was going to say that it's a commentary on society as well, this film, isn't it? On how people just accepted what the husband said about her. Like, oh, she doesn't go out. She's ill. Some nameless disease. And it really was the people who rudely involved themselves in their life who did something about it. Maybe there is a place for that bigger community and interfering old busybodies to help stop stuff like that.
Did she actually achieve anything, though, or was it all the man? Again, I think I could Google it and I'll find someone who said that this is a gay metaphor about the...
Well, I mean,
I know we keep bringing it up.
Obviously, the man succeeded because men are better. But
she had all these women around her who did shit all. If anything, made it much worse. And then White Knight comes along.
I think you're being unfair to Miss Thwaites there.
She was very nosy.
She was nosy, and she gave Brian some crucial information, right?
Not deliberately.
She not just in her.
Oh, she helped a bit
in her gabbering
inadvertently. Yeah, and she did keep trying to go in and help, or not help, but at least get in to see the house, I suppose. Interesting.
And Elizabeth
and then the woman
did her
came
best,
through in the
didn't
end.
she?
Yeah, true. She did pull it off.
Elizabeth saved the day. Really.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Mm-hmm. But I think you're right that Brian was certainly the one driving all this. That he was the smart, intelligent hero who knew what to do.
Sexy hero as well.
The sexy hero. Whereas, I guess the the women were either helping by accident or not helping at all.
Have we done symbolism? I think we kind of have covered it, haven't we, with the Catholic Church and the...
Yes, that might have been our best symbolism yet.
Yeah.
I think there's something really in that, like religion as a kind of doublethink style. The only reason you don't believe in what I believe is because you can't perceive the world. Yeah, there's something in that. Religious leaders gaslighting whether they believe what they're saying or not. And I think most do.
I think calling things miracles is definitely gaslighting.
I suppose, in the strict definition of the sense, you're getting people to think a different thing about reality. Or doubt their own senses, Yeah.
You know, things that are like physically impossible that don't happen. They don't happen. But like canonizing people because they've performed 2 miracles. And convincing people that those miracles did happen and they were induced by God and nothing to do with just how the world works. It's definitely altering people's perception of reality.
Or then again, was it just trying to explain something that was difficult to explain?
Maybe, but they still canonize people.
Yeah.
We have enough science to show that miracles don't happen.
Well,
Oh,
not back
yeah, so
in
now
them
that we
days.
know better.
Not back in the days of miracles.
Yeah.
I think there are some recent miracles.
Yeah, they're still canonising now, aren't they?
I think my friend Gabby has a saint in the family. And
No
their
way.
miracle was that when they were dying, their favourite TV show came on in the hospital. I
Oh,
don't know if she's lying to me, though.
that's such a... Why would you make that up? That's the worst miracle. Do you remember that game people were playing, and what was the most useless superpower you could have? I think one thing would be your favourite TV show comes on when you die.
Oh, that's the game we were playing in the lab that time. Yeah, just the worst superpowers.
Yeah, I think it's a discussion that comes up online sometimes.
Okay.
Things like your fingernails grow at 5 times the usual speed. It's amazing, but not very useful. Yeah, so I think we've done symbolism.
Good for us. We haven't talked about his
all
voice.
in all, great film. His voice.
What a voice.
Yeah.
Sounds like Pepe Le Pew. As far as I can remember. It's been a while since I've heard Pepe Le Pew, but that kind of, oh, my darling, oh.
Where was he supposed to be from?
Italy, maybe? You know the Italians.
Where
like
was
to
she
speech
meant to be
impediment.
from?
Yeah, I don't know. Does Ingrid
She not
Bergman
Swedish?
sound like that normally? Is that her accent?
Yeah, I think so.
Someone want to look it up.
Well, wasn't she in Casablanca and she sounded the perfect American? Stop at nothing, these actors.
I forgot that she was in that.
Yeah, she's from Stockholm in Sweden.
All right. Ingrid Bergman. Yeah, sounds right.
That's your Danish accent.
Oh, yeah.
Kæft, Kasper.
I just have 2 things to say.
Right.
They're inconsequential. First of all, said that, the murder part of the case was pursued to the ends. What are you doing? But they didn't find that letter. That, to be fair, quite concerning letter from a clearly deranged fan. That would have been a good lead. Didn't look very much in that room then.
Yeah, it was inside a book, wasn't it? And I think you can hide something on a random page of a book, but it did seem to sort of fall open as soon as she opened it.
She found it within 2 minutes, but I suppose she was looking at the music.
Yeah.
But still, that's not very thorough. Check every page of every book in a crime scene. That's what I've learned.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Fine. I'm not a detective. Oh, and the last thing, I tell you one thing that's universal, isn't it? About women. Oh, they always carry a bunch of junk in their handbags.
Oh, what does she have in her handbag?
I couldn't even
Not
pick
a
it out.
brooch.
Not
a brooch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't have any pockets.
What was she even carrying? I don't know. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
She had a phone, she had
It looked like
an MP3 player.
little tiny metal devices. Just, very old-timey stuff. You don't need to know.
I bet she had a lipstick and a rouge.
Yeah, maybe a little mirror.
A little mirror.
Little compact. And that's all she would need because the gentleman would carry the money.
Absolutely. My granny used to carry aniseed balls. With just a few sort of loose at the bottom of her handbag.
Oh, gross.
What was the link between this and the last film?
Oh, the Highlander.
No.
Yes. I genuinely don't think there is one this time.
These were 2 very
There's got to
different
be.
films.
They were both metaphors for religion.
It's true. I can be our backup.
That's always our backup.
They were both about Jesus, yeah, okay. But other than that, there's got to be a good one.
Dodgy European accents.
Yes, Swedish accents that shouldn't really be there.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
You stupid haggis.
It's a kind of magic.
Appalling.
Yeah. The Queen did the soundtrack for both, I guess. Was that just in my version?
Yeah, I think you might have watched a different version. I think I've said my piece.
Me too.
Yep, I have no more notes.
Fernando?
Well, perhaps my last inconsequential note is that I felt like I was being gaslighted when Brian said detail instead of detail. And I've been hearing this a lot. This time I was like, wait, I've definitely heard many people saying detail instead of detail. And I really do not know which one is correct. So I looked it up in the dictionary, and it turns out that, well, at least the dictionary says that it's definitely detail. But then I was gaslighted so much that I still do not trust the dictionary, and I want to know.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's detail.
Filthy Americans.
Laura, stop gaslighting Fernando.
Or you'll not have any pudding.
Well, I really want to know, is it detail or detail?
The answer, as always,
Detail.
is that Americans are funny and they sometimes say detail, but nobody in the UK would ever say anything but detail.
I
You're a
see.
very kind person, Michael.
That sounded really convincing. Well done.
Yeah. Well, it's not just me, as the dictionary says it. You can
Oh, you can't
do
trust the
investigation.
dictionary, of all people.
People.
Oh, that's a good quote. I like that.
Lovely. Well, what a wonderful time we've all
Yeah.
had back together again. God,
Great
it's
to
been
get
a
back
while,
together.
but it's nice that we finally come to this. I'm trying to stall while I get the music ready.
Oh, really? You couldn't tell?
Everything you're saying was so natural sounding.
I forgot again that it was my responsibility to do that, but here we are. I'm ready. Oops.
Brilliant.
Still-
Oh, even the customary extra note. 3, 2, 1.
Scissors. Shit.
Yes!
How did you
Claire.
know? How did you know?
You're...
I did loops in my mind thinking, what will she think I'll go for? She'll think I'll go for rock. I know it.
Well, rock's unbeatable. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Why does anyone go for anything except rock?
Have you got a film for us, Claire?
I don't. I wasn't prepared for this.
Oh.
I might
Yeah.
drop something in the chat later.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, go for it.
Beautiful.
I'll virtue signal you. Since we're talking about
Neologisms, yeah, I like it.
neologisms, that's the word.
That was a good one.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever said that. That was amazing.
It's pronounced neologisms.
Oh no. Stop gaslighting me.
So, yes, I do have a film for next time. And
Yep.
I've forgotten it already because I closed it up
Shit.
on my phone. And it is called Whiplash. I want the 2014 one.
Ah.
Is it about drumming?
Yeah.
No. Sorry. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is about.
Okay.
It is about drumming, though. All of the pictures have drums in them.
Okay.